Yeah, I mean, I think we're at a point where we do feel comfortable, and I've seen enough to kind of know what to do in a sense. Just taking kind of what the defense gives me, and when we got opportunities to throw it down the field, that's when we'll do it. But just we're trusting the underneath coverage and our routes and our slot receivers and our running backs and tight ends to find holes in the zones and to get open. So definitely still work in progress, but I think we've been handling it a better way, and we've been able to move the ball really at will. Obviously, we got to put some more points on the board, and 2 weeks ago we got to find ways to score in the red zone. But the small amount of punts that we have is a good sign.
Gotcha. And we heard from I want to say it was Sean. It might have been Brandon as well. It's so long ago at this point, but that the Bills wanted to turn this offense into one that if you had to throw the ball 40 times a game, if that's what the game plan dictated, that you felt like you could do so. And 8 games in, do you feel like we're at that point? Do you feel like you're at that point right now?
Absolutely. Just trusting the 5 guys up front, making sure that, I'm getting the protection right, and they're able to go and execute it, and trusting our guys to go run the right route and catch the ball. And, our guys have been doing a really good job of that. So I got to keep making, smart decisions and putting the ball where it needs to be, and just letting those other guys go to work.
Gotcha. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, John Worrell.
Good to see you, Worrell.
Good seeing you. Interesting question. It's a question about how this team has developed. And I asked Sean McDermott about this earlier today. If you look back 3.5 years, and you weren't here that first year, but how far this team has grown, where the expectations have really changed. And that's what Sean said. Have you noticed how the expectations for this franchise have changed since you first got here to where there seems to be an expectation to win, to succeed, that there is a foundation in place?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that goes back to one, the ownership, Terry and Cam, and what they've been able to do, and bringing in the right people to put us on the right trajectory, the front office bringing in the right guys, and then ultimately it comes down to Coach McDermott and what he's been preaching us in our team meetings. And playoff caliber is the standard that we hold ourselves to each and every day that we're in this building. And again, we've got guys in this locker room that care about each other, and they don't want to let each other down. So guys that just come in, work, they don't talk too much. We have fun while we're doing it, but ultimately when we're on the field, we're playing for the other 10 guys on the football field.
As the quarterback, though, you have to help deliver that message, be it in the huddle, in the locker room, or whatever. How have you seen yourself carrying that message to the team?
I just try to be the best teammate, the best quarterback that I can be for this team. And some days it requires me to, have more juice. It requires me to have more energy. If guys aren't feeling, that day, if it's a gloomy day here in Buffalo, which sometimes it is, and believe it or not, sometimes that can affect mood. So I got to be as positive as possible and keep preaching the guys, and we're having fun and enjoying the game that we're playing, and making sure that, we're keeping it on a lighter note too, and, trying to bring as many smiles to the facilities as I can, and making sure that everybody on this team knows that I love them and I got their back and I do anything for them.
Last thing from me on this and on this topic, because 2 years ago, your rookie season, there were few expectations that the Bills team could compete against a Seattle Seahawks the way they're playing right now. Is that fair?
I always feel like whenever we're on the field, we can compete with anybody, and that's been my attitude since day one. But we understand how well the Seahawks are playing, and how well the quarterback Russell Wilson is playing there, and we got no small task. This coming week, they're top in a lot of statistical categories on the offensive side of the ball, and we got to make sure that we're doing our part and trying to keep them off the field as much as possible. But, they got some very opportunistic guys on defense, and they're forcing a lot of turnovers. So it's going to be a 4-quarter dogfight. We understand that. That's probably going to be each and every week that we play on, from here on out. So we got to go out there and just try to put our best foot forward and execute our game plan.
Thanks, Josh.
Hey, Josh, Matt Bove here. Hope you're doing well. You kind of just mentioned it with how well the Seahawks are playing offensively. I don't know if pressure is necessarily the right word, but do you realize as an offense that this is a week where you guys have to go out and put up points and keep them off the field to kind of give your team a chance to win?
I think that's kind of our thought process each and every week. But again, to the Seahawks point, I mean, they've been good, for the last 7-8 years, and what Coach Carroll's done there has been remarkable, and the long kind of run of success that they've had is awesome for them. And obviously the fans would love to see us go out there and win a game, but we're just trying to go out there and like I said, execute our game plan. But taking care of the football, moving the chains on third down, and scoring touchdowns when we can is going to be huge for us. And again, we're not trying to put anything past this defense. They're forcing a lot of turnovers, and like I said, they're very opportunistic. They got some real dudes over there. So we got to be ready for anything that they can throw at us, and have a good week of practice and try to prepare as well as we can.
And I don't want to keep hitting you with like too many big picture questions or anything like that, but you're at the halfway point. You're 6-2, so obviously the record is strong at this point. As an offense, what do you guys think that you've done well at the halfway point, and what do you think you need to continue to make improvements on for this final stretch?
Yeah, I think early on we had a lot of success, obviously, in the air, and we were moving the ball pretty consistently, and I think we've been doing a good job of being able to move the ball. I think we're converting third down at a pretty high rate, which is promising to see. That usually equates to long-term success. We got to make sure that we're staying in tune. I got to be able to make better decisions throughout the game and understand situational football, and try to give our defense the best chance possible on the field and make defenses, or make the opposing offense drive the length of the football field. So that's on my part, and getting the run game going early and often. We saw how vital and crucial it was this past week, and we got the guys here that can do it and that want to do it. And again, like I said, we got a great locker room here.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
Hey, Josh, when we spoke to Sean McDermott earlier today, he said in matchups like these, sometimes your offense can be your best defense. So how do you think your offense can be a good defense this weekend?
Yeah, like I said, just making sure that we're making smart decisions with the football. Again, if they want to play some soft zones, taking some of the underneath stuff, and when the big play presents itself, we got to make sure that we execute and go after it when we can. But again, moving the chains on third down, time of possession, and being able to flip the football field when we can, and that's something that we haven't done in the last couple of weeks. We've been pinned down a few times, and we haven't gotten a first down, and we've had to 3-and-out punt. So one first down can change the course of a game there, and we understand that. So that's something we're drastically trying to improve.
Thanks.
Hey, Josh, it's Kim Jones. Now that both Zach Moss and Devin are available to you on game days, how do you see their contributions? Do you see them as distinctly different players for your offense, or is there more similarity?
I've been asked that a few times by different people, but they resemble each other in their stature and their size, but I think they're kind of different backs. Motor's a guy that you can flank out using the passing game. He's super shifty. He's very strong. It always seems like he makes the first defender miss. Then you got Zach, he's more of a downhill runner, is ready to put his shoulder down and run through you. And you saw that this last week. So their styles complement each other very well. They are very similar in how they run, but they're also kind of different. It makes for kind of a cool. I know Carolina a few years ago had smash and dash, and it kind of gives me similar feels to that, just being able to watch, those guys. But, they're playing really well, and they're coming off they're coming off a really good week, and we got to continue to keep them going in the running game and the passing game, and make sure that they're getting their touches as well.
Josh, if I may just really quickly follow up. Last year, we all saw Devin with Frank all the time. Are Zach and Devin kind of like that? I know Devin's now the older guy, kind of, but are they kind of like that?
Oh yeah, it's a really good room, and I think there's five or six guys total in that room, Reggie included. So they get along extremely well. They're always talking with each other, always walking the halls through with each other. So it's definitely a good sign. But again, that's kind of how our locker room is, and really how each and every one of our specific line groups is.